I used to treat getting dressed like a competition, like I had something to prove before 5 a.m. I don't think I cared that much about clothes. I think I was holding my breath. And I have been playing this game ever since I was a kid. Dramatic intro. This is not about clothes. It is and it isn't. It is about removing one unnecessary step from your life. It's about not manufacturing pressure before you've even had coffee. Hopefully so you can free up time for things that actually matter. In this video, I'm going to tell you about a game that I've been playing since I was a wee lad, how my brain turns small decisions into survival missions, and how picking 3 items of clothing has solved a lot of that. I want to take you back to my childhood. School's out, summer break just started. This means 2 things. No school uniform, and I'm going to get really good at holding my breath. Why? Because I love to swim. I'm going over to Grandpa's pool with some of my friends, and we would play this game. How many laps can you swim underwater, back and forth in our pool? At the start of the summer, I could do maybe 1-ish, 1.5 at best, and then I would just pop up for air. By the end of summer, though, August rolls around, I can do 4 or more. We would get lazy, though, and not do the laps. We would just dunk our heads in and then time ourselves. Because I am a stubborn SOB, I would just distract myself. I got pretty good. I would count the pores on the concrete at the bottom of the pool. I'd let out just tiny little gasps of air out of my nose and watch the little bubbles, just to keep the primordial part of my brain from freaking out and popping up to the surface. I would wait till the very last second before I was convinced I was going to die, and I popped up. Huge gasp for air, and I felt proud. Proud like I had proven something. But proven what? I'm not really sure. Nobody really cared. I think most of the pressure was just created by myself. I get the same pressure when I am looking at my closet in the morning and trying to think of what I want to wear. I'll open up drawers and look at generations of t-shirts that I haven't worn in years. Different kinds of textures and fabrics and thicknesses. It's a lot to battle before I've even had coffee. All of this pressure, I know, is entirely self-inflicted. Uniforms have not always settled very well with me. I went to private school, and most of my life I wore a white polo tee and navy slacks. Don't look this up if you're not aware of what gynecomastia is, but I had it prepubescent as a youth, so I get very triggered still around white cotton polos. I very early on developed a not-so-great relationship with uniforms. I've got a little bit of that anarchist spirit, a lot actually. As soon as I got out of school, I wanted to wear whatever the hell I wanted with as much variety as possible. I like to think of myself as a creative person, so it just kind of seems to match to be wearing different clothing constantly. I thought that's just what you do. I have romanticized variety as a way of expressing myself. Wearing the same thing every single day just seems like creative death. Here's the challenge, though, because I have seen patterns with all of the very successful people in the world. Let's take Jobs, for example, the classic black mock neck, the Levi's 501s, the New Balances. Iconic, the man wore it for 13 years straight in every single public appearance, 20 plus keynotes, same damn outfit. He did not seem to lack the creative spirit. The man made this magical. Substack notification. Good plug for this. If you are the guy who wants the exact pieces of my uniform, if you're a psychopath and really like details, more so than what I am giving here, take a look at the newsletter. You might be interested. There is no denying that Mr. Steve Jobs did not lack that creativity. So it doesn't really track that I have to wear something different every single day just to be a creative person. Jobs did it. Okay, I can too. Seems like every high performer has the same spirit. Everybody says you eliminate the decision fatigue. And it's only since actually committing to this that I realized that what that means, that decision fatigue, if you apply it correctly, it has helped me figure out what's actually important. I can look at the greats and understand and appreciate this, but still, it is so damn hard for me to jump into this. I have gone down so many different rabbit holes in my life and optimized for this, drank this pH balance of water, and made sure that all the skin products I'm using are paraben free, all that stuff. The uniform thing is still really tough for me though. It reminds me of things that I've been able to spot and not necessarily just blame myself for. I am a fleshy meatbag programmed over hundreds of thousands of years. I'm wired to seek comfort. Why is it though wearing the same thing every day makes me so damn uncomfortable. It's the same kind of caveman math that I'm able to do in my head. Maybe you are like this too. Just one more bite. I've got a heavy leg day tomorrow and I need to replenish my glycogen. Or I'm on my phone and I'm scrolling and I think just 5 more minutes because I'm doing research on Steve Jobs. This is important stuff. All stuff that I know is absolute bullshit. So I look at a chaotic closet and I get a rush from it still. I think the same reason it is so hard to just sit still like a crazy person and stare at walls, being bored is so uncomfortable. I equate the consistency if I were to wear the same thing every day. Consistency equals stagnation. And all this ancestral wiring that I have says stagnation equals discomfort. So therefore, novelty, wearing different shit every single day, equals survival. That's caveman math. What I like about the uniform is it seems to just give a middle finger to that part of my brain. I don't get to scratch the itch of novelty constantly. It's sort of just like enforcing boredom on myself. Just like with fitness, with food, with scrolling on my damn phone, there's something nice that comes on the other side if you're able to embrace that boredom. I've got my uniform figured out and I've been feeling pretty good about this just for like the last 6 months, honestly. But if you are just dressing up like Steve Jobs, I promise you, it is not gonna solve your problems. There can be a really nasty side, a shadow side to wearing a uniform every single day, because for every tech founder out there who has 7 of the same black tees, there are a dozen bros who still wear the same hoodie from high school. Not because the hoodie aged well, but because they never aged with it. There have been moments in my life that I have found myself being that dude who wears the same thing every day, but it doesn't feel like it does now, because I don't think I was making those choices intentionally. I was doing it because it felt safe. And it's not like a safe, I'm with my lady and we're flicking on Grey's Anatomy at 7 p.m. on a Sunday, kind of safe, cozy. It's a, I should be doing better. I'm going to call in sick to life because I'm too chicken shit to actually show up. I think the uniform can be a form of that sort of safety in adulthood too. For all the good reasons that I think it's nice to eliminate the stress, because we all look the same, so you can't be judging the hell out of us in high school. That sort of thing can be pretty nasty if you bring that on to adulthood without thought behind it. So how do you give it that thought? You're probably like me, and you've found yourself gravitating as an adult to the same clothing over and over again anyways. And if you're also like me, you would pick that beater or those mid-wash jeans for the second day in a row and say, no, you can't be seeing that again twice in a row. Do something else. But I decided to lean into that. Maybe you can too, just for a week. If you don't have multiples, you might be having to do a lot of laundry. That one outfit that just feels right and cozy, feels like you and you're always gravitating towards it. What is it like if you commit to that? 7 days in a row. It's scary, but it's just an experiment. You're not going to negotiate with yourself. How does it feel at the end of that week? Do you feel lighter or do you feel trapped? If you feel like you've taken some Windex to your life and cleaned it up a little bit, I think you're onto something there. My uniform that I am leaning into these days, it is the white wife beater, Hanes, some details on my newsletter. There's some nuance behind it, but I won't get into it. Mid-wash jeans, straight leg, and some loafers. It allows me to layer if I need, but it's rarely the case here in sunny Los Angeles, and I feel like myself in it. When I started this and I committed, I wore it. I wore it once, and I wore it again, and then I did it again, and I came up for air, and I realized nobody was there timing me. A uniform shouldn't feel like a costume. It should feel like your first breath after holding it for too long. I don't have all the answers, so I will leave you with a question. You don't have to hold your breath anymore. So why are you still doing it?